Hey y'all, thank y'all for joining us. Tonight I got some tea because I was too ready to do this interview. Tonight's guest is Miss Paris. And Miss Paris was maybe a prison wife, but I'm gonna let her tell y'all that. Okay, Miss Paris. So you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Paris. I just made 35 on March 5th, and I married an inmate on April 27th of the last year. And unfortunately, don't look like we're going to make it to April 27th of this year.
What? So not even a whole year? Not even a whole year, Paris.
And what's crazy is, I'm going to say it was going pretty decent
Oh yeah?
until we said I do. It seemed like after that, everything just kind of, I don't even know. I don't know.
Dang.
Um, I don't even know where to start. It's so much.
So how
Um,
long were y'all dating before y'all got married?
a little bit over a year. So we consider our anniversary to be February 14th.
Uh-huh.
So we'll say about a year and about a month and some change before we got married. Um, and it was just crazy because he was already incarcerated. He was sentenced to 10 years,
Mhm.
and he hadn't, well, we were together when he first went up for parole, but he didn't make it.
Mhm.
So I ended up getting him two different parole attorneys, and he made his second parole.
Well,
So even though he's not home,
mhm.
he's due to come home in a couple of months. So you can imagine my surprise when I got a phone call at the beginning of January, like,
Oh, don't tell him.
oh,
Don't tell him. Don't tell him yet.
okay, okay.
Don't don't tell him yet because we gotta back it up a little bit. So what were his charges? Can't even get it out of my mouth. I'm so excited for this tea.
So he had two egg robberies, two egg assaults, I'm sorry, and one egg robbery.
Okay.
And that's what, he was, well, he was actually on probation for one when he got the other two charges. So combined, he was going to serve a 10-year sentence for those three charges.
Okay. And did you know him prior to him being incarcerated?
No, I actually moved to the state of Texas from Louisiana, and I didn't know anybody. I didn't like have any friends. I have some family living in the state, but we're all kind of spread out.
Mhm.
So I befriended one of my coworkers, and like we spent every single moment together. So one day I was in a car with her going to her nephew's baseball game, and he called. And so she was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, that's my brother calling." And she tried to take it off of the Bluetooth, but she didn't move quick enough. So the Bluetooth ended up picking it up. And so I answered, and we just started talking like we knew each other. And so she just kind of paused, like, "Hold on, y'all know each other?" And we were
Oh,
like, "No, we was
oh,
just joking, you know."
okay.
So that's pretty much how we met, literally.
Wow, wow. So was she like okay? Did she approve of the relationship between y'all?
So no, for about a month or so, she didn't even want to exchange the information. Like she didn't want to give me his information. She didn't want to give him my information. She started to talk bad about him to me,
Mhm.
like, oh, he have anger issues. Oh, you don't know what he gonna be like when he come home. I just wouldn't do that because I'm a master level therapist. So it's like,
Hold on, wait a minute, wait a minute. I don't think the folks told you. That y'all didn't hear what she said. What is your profession?
I'm a master's level mental health therapist. I work with
Okay.
juveniles that's on probation.
Okay, okay.
And she was doing the same. His sister was doing the same. She was working on her licensure. And so she was like, no, like, he's not equal to, you. But
Uh-huh.
I never saw it like that, to be honest.
Mhm.
So it was her birthday dinner, and he actually ended up calling, and she was rushing, so she gave me the phone. So he was like, hurry up, take my inmate number, take the address. Set your phone up, do all that. And so we started talking behind her back. We talked behind her back for about a month before I was like, I don't feel comfortable because I'm with her every
Mm-hmm.
day. So I ended up telling her she didn't talk to me for like 2 or 3 days, and then she called and was like, thank you for telling me. I didn't approve of it, but I guess I kind of don't have a choice because
Mm-hmm.
y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do. But she decided to set some rules like y'all can't talk while I'm with you. If he call and we together, you gotta either decline the call or tell him he gonna have to call you back because me and you together. It
Well,
was
hold on, Paris. Hold. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did the sister like you too? Do you think the sister liked you? Was she a look?
some of my friends suspected that maybe she she had wanted me too
Oh.
because it was real like a real jealousy type
Oh.
issue until one day it just came to a head because it was like 100 degrees outside and he called and I'm like, I'm not about to go sit on my balcony. It's too hot. But she
Yeah.
was getting the attitude because I was on the phone with him. And so she was like, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go. And he was kind of like, she get mad at you. That's your spot. This your phone. Like, tell her to go then. So they both fussing at me. He fussing at me on the phone. She fussing at me in my apartment. She looks back, and I'm like, "Well, I'm sorry, but I'm choosing him."
Oh.
And so, yeah, she walked out. Like she looked back to see if I was gonna stop her, and when I didn't, she kind of walked out. And that's how our friendship honestly was until last year, my birthday last year, and
Mm-hmm.
we haven't spoke since then.
That's crazy. You got the brother and the sister. I'm telling you right now, the sister liked you. She liked you. That's just what it is. She liked you. She wanted you for herself. Like, you gonna choose my brother that's locked up over me? No, she
Yep.
wanted you for herself. So how did the rest of the family feel about the relationship?
So what's crazy is I met pretty much his entire family before I had even met him because the prison he was at was still under COVID guidelines when we did start talking, so I couldn't go to visit or anything like that. So
Hmm.
because I met his sister and his sister was my friend, I was already going around his family before me and him even spoke on the phone.
Okay.
So
Okay.
um when they found out or when we did start talking, he kind of put me in an uncomfortable position because he would have me calling them like, "Oh, call this person," and they would want to know who I am, and then they would be like, "Hold on, aren't you his sister friend? Why are you calling me on his behalf? Like, what y'all have going on?"
Mm.
So I don't know. It made me feel awkward, but that's the space they put me in.
Hmm.
And then when his mom found out, oh my god. Yeah, sis was a heavy need.
Whoa.
This was a heavy need. Um, she. So initially he was scared to tell her. He told me I had to tell her, and I was like, "That's
Hmm.
not my mom. That's not
Right.
for me to do." So the way he ended up telling her on Valentine's Day, I will say the sister and the mom, they did an excellent job of making me feel special. Like when I opened up my front door, I had balloons, I had flowers, I had an edible arrangement, and of course, they are the ones who orchestrated,
Hmm.
all of that from him. But then when he called his mom to tell his mom thank you, he was like, "Okay, I have to call my girlfriend back now." And she was like, "You're who?" And that's kind of how he told her.
Hmm.
And so initially she did, she was like, that's a grown woman. She has a career, she has kids, she has things going, good for herself. Don't play with her. If she is not what you want, if you still want to, play in the streets, don't play with her.
Hmm.
And he was, oh, I'm done. I've been in the streets since I was 13 years old. I'm done. But something his dad said had stuck with me because his dad was in and out of prison, and his dad was like, when we go in a lot of times, our development is stunted at that age. So he went in at 21. So he's still making a lot of decisions like he's 21 years old. But I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that then. Like I'm realizing that now, but I didn't know that then. And so the mom, I would spend time with her. She had a surgery. I took her to the doctor. But for whatever reason, when he started to make adult decisions, because he
Mm-hmm.
would just allow them to make the decisions and he wouldn't question them. So when he started to make adult decisions, they started to see me as a threat. And that's when the conflict started. Because it was like, well, the mom exact words was, since you've been talking to this bitch, you're
Oh,
different.
oh,
And
okay.
so he was like, I'm not different. I'm just standing up for myself more because he didn't used to do that. He didn't used to do
Mm-hmm.
that. So the mom then saw me as a threat. I became a B word. I became fat, slouchy. I need to
Oh, she
be
took it there.
taking care of my kids. Everybody knows. Just I was everything. And when I changed to me, I changed him for good. He wanted to start a clothing line that they were procrastinating on. So I'm the one I took and I started that clothing line from the ground up. Invested 3,000 of my own dollars in it and started it from the ground up. They call him stupid. Oh, she's gonna take the money. All his money went to his books, his ecom, his
Mm-hmm.
phone. It's like if he wanted stuff off of Amazon, or whatever, his money went towards him.
So it was your money
But
that started the business, though, right?
it was my money that started the business, but as we were making the money,
Right,
if he needed something, penitentiary wise, I would
right.
use that money first before I, dipped into my money.
Okay.
But they wouldn't even his dad and his dad's fiance, they supported 100%, but his mom's sister, they wasn't supporting the clothing line. His mom had, I think, like over 4 or 5 thousand followers on Instagram. He was like, "Mom, can you post the shirt?"
Mm-hmm.
Promoted. Nope.
Now, Paris, what did he say to you that was so good? That was so good. Like, what was this conversation like? Like, I need to know. I want to visualize what this conversation was like. That it was so good that you not only agreed to a relationship, but to marrying him. I need to understand this. What did he tell you? What kind of whisper was he doing in your ear? That must have been some good
So
conversation.
now that I'm on this journey and I'm reflecting back on a lot,
Uh huh.
I'm noticing like a lot of red flags. Like he was molding himself to kind of fit what it is that I wanted. So pretty much everything that I was saying, he was like co-signing. If I was like, oh, I think that this would be, something good for you. Oh yeah, I think that would be good for me too. Like he was agreeing, but of course, on top of that, I will say I was in a vulnerable state. When I
Mm-hmm.
moved out here, I was with someone that ended very, very bad. And so when he did come into my life, it was at a time where I was empty. I was looking for something to fill a void, and I didn't think it would go that far. But when I tell you, it was like he wasn't in prison because we would literally spend every waking minute on the phone. Like I'm talking probably if we're looking at an 8 hour day, probably 6 of those hours we was on the phone.
Well, damn, Paris, he ain't got nothing but time. That's all.
But I didn't see it like that. I don't know if it's just because my brother did 4.5 years or so. I don't know if it's because my brother didn't call home like that. But I'm like, you in prison? Like, how you get to call this much? And so, for me too in my life, like I struggle with attaching myself too quick to men, especially when they're in front of me. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is gonna be a challenge for me because he's not in front of me. He's in there, so I get time to actually get to know him before anything else transpires. Before we're intimate or anything like that.
Okay. Okay.
But it was just a lot. Like we matched as far as our business mindset. Even though, so I left this out. So he actually got arrested on Mother's Day in 2016, and when he got arrested, his baby mom was 7 months pregnant. So he had never been outside of prison with his son.
Mm-hmm.
So to see the bond that he was still able to build with his son, despite him being in prison, that was big for me as well because my kids, I have two sons, their fathers aren't involved. And so even from behind prison walls, he took on that role to my kids.
Okay, okay. So as far as the son that he had that he didn't get to, be with outside, did you have a relationship with the mother of the child?
No, so, and in all honesty, I see why she believes this, but remember, I met her and her son before I met him. So I didn't even
Okay,
know, you
gotcha.
know. So whenever she ended up finding out we were in a relationship, she
Mm-hmm.
saw it as betrayal on everybody's part. Like, he been
Mm,
messing with this female, y'all been bringing her around my son, and
mm-hmm.
now I'm mad. And so
Gotcha.
she tried to fight me and the sister at one of the little boys' baseball games, and that was the last game that I had ever went to. I would buy the little boy stuff and like send it to her grandmother's house, and then one day she told him, "I'll send all of that back to that B. My son don't need none of that." But in the same token, when he would call, "Oh, your son needs shoes," tell your little
Mm-hmm.
girlfriend buy him some shoes. But when I was doing that, you said you didn't need anything from me, so I stopped doing that. And there was some conflict there, but in all honesty, I mean, as far as she goes, since that game, there haven't really, there hasn't been, and that game was 2 Aprils ago. Yeah.
Golly. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess she probably thought, everybody was playing her since you had came around, but you didn't know him then. So, okay,
Yep.
got it. Okay, so he reeled you in, he got you. So, how did this proposal go?
To be honest, it wasn't even a proposal. It was more or less like we might as well get married.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm like, you're not serious about that because I'm pretty sure, you've been locked down at that time for 6 years. When you
Mhm.
come home, you're going to want to do this, do that. And I used to give him plenty of outs. Like, don't commit to me. Don't do anything. If you know that when you get home, you want to do whatever it is that you want to do. But he would always reiterate, I'm done with all of that. I'm beyond it. So I'm listening to what you're telling me.
Dang.
And I went ahead and I started setting everything up as far as the marriage goes. I went to the courthouse. I paid the $500. I did all of that. And mind you, our ceremony was our first contact together.
Uh,
Because again, so they had started having visitation at that point, but we were behind the glass because I was the next of kin or anything like that. So we had never had any contact until our ceremony. And I remember we were both shaking.
So wait a minute, because Pooh, you are an idiot. Do you see what she put at the bottom? Talking about Paris, you single, me and my girl Polly.
Oh, baby, I don't do Polly. Oh, no. I'm too selfish for Polly.
Out of your mind. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the $500 that had to be paid, did you pay that out of your pocket or
I,
did it come
I
from the
paid that. I
Harris?
paid that.
Harris.
I paid all of that. Hmm.
Oh gosh. Okay. So you paid that, y'all married. What else did you pay for, Paris? You got to tell the people
Okay,
because I'm just
so let's
itching.
start with the clothing line because that was like
Mhm.
my first big. So that was $3,000, and then when you look at the econ, because that went dry really quick. So when you look at the econ, the money on the books, the sending things to his son, we'll just say over the course of our relationship, that probably totaled anywhere, I say 6 or 7 thousand, maybe.
Uh,
And I'm on my laptop. Oh man, I wish I could get up and show y'all, but he had a closet full of shoes and clothes. I started
girl,
selling
get your
stuff.
phone. You can take that computer right over there to the closet. You can take
But
it.
I started selling stuff because ultimately, like, oh, I forgot I can't reveal. I can't reveal. But I
Oh,
started selling stuff. Let's see if I could. Oh, I gotta.
yeah, we like the tea.
How do I have to take the background off. Let's see. Oh, got it. I think. No, I don't know how to take the background. Cause see y'all see blur, but I mean you could see clothes and shoes.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
And
That was all
so
his clothes?
his clothes, his shoes, um, and Lord, that probably was about 7,000, maybe.
Oh
About
man.
7,000 total that I spent on the clothes and the shoes. Yeah, we say about 7,000. Um, what else? The two parole attorneys. So one parole attorney I had paid over $3,000, and then that parole attorney dropped us because I couldn't make the final payment by a certain date. So
Mm-hmm.
then I had to hire a whole new parole attorney and pay her 25,000. I mean, I'm sorry, 2,500. And so I was able to acquire her services. So that was the second parole attorney. Um,
So you spent almost 6,000 in attorney fees
yep,
for him to make parole.
yep.
Okay. So now has
Oh,
he
and
made
get
parole?
this. His the mom. So whenever this, at least this is what he told me. Whenever he had took his 10-year deal, his mom had promised him to pay for his parole attorney.
Mm-hmm.
His mama had promised her to pay for the. So when she found out I was paying for it, he asked her. He was like, "Can you make some payments towards it?" So she was like, "Oh, take that money that I put on your books and send that to her." Like he could actually do that. Like that's a thing.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
So yeah, mom didn't pay $1. Nobody helped. His homeboys would send something every now and then,
Mm-hmm.
to help, but other than that, I was kind of on my own. Um, let's see what else. So we got the marriage, uh, all the visits, vending machines, trips, all of that, back and forth. And I was going every week. Every week I was going.
Paris, what about the ring? Did you purchase your rings?
I did purchase my own ring, but I'll be honest, it was fake because I was like, "Now, when you get out, you're gonna give me a real one. I'm not investing no
She
money.
said
I'm not
fake.
investing no, I'm not investing no money in that because you're gonna buy a real one."
Okay,
Um,
okay.
yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
So I say anywhere maybe between 10 and 15, and that's why I say that this is something or whatever. Because of course I see people in the comments like saying things like, "Girl, you knew better, this, that, and the third." I didn't know better, and I probably knew better, but it's a learning experience at the same time because I'm like, you really don't have the willpower to save, but do you know what you could have been doing with that money?
Mm,
Do you know what you could have been? Do you know what you could have did? Yo, girl, your car be paid on. Like,
right. Girl, you
let's
got
be
them
for
two
real.
boys that you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You could have been doing something with them, for
Uh-huh.
them.
Yes,
A little
ma'am.
trip, a little girl's trip.
Yes,
Oh my
ma'am.
gosh.
Yes.
Wow. Well, so how is the marriage going now?
So, okay, let's start with when he made parole. So when he made parole, actually, I didn't even know. One of his homeboys had called my phone at like 4 something in the morning. He was like, "Sis, get up, bro made it." And I'm like, "What? Made what? What are you talking about?" He made parole. He made parole. Go check the site. So I checked the site. He made parole, so I couldn't wait for him, to call. Wait, I got my own. I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments. So he was like, "Oh," I said, "Do you want me to call your attorney to see if they heard anything?" And he was like, "No, I'm not even worried about it no more." I said, "So you don't care whether or not you made parole?" "Nah, man, because they starting to stress me out." I said, "What if I told you you made it?"
Mm-hmm.
"Wait, I made it? I made it." I was like, "Yeah, you made it." So of course it was very emotional. He ended up getting off the phone. He was like, "I just need some time," and I understood. So he got off the phone. And again, that was in April. But they told him he had to complete a program prior to his release. He didn't get sent to his program until November.
Mm-hmm.
So he got sent to his program in November. And before that, that's when things kind of started going crazy with his mom. She started sending him letters saying he was dead to her. Once she found out we was married,
Oh.
he was dead to her. She was taking him out of her will. She'll never accept me. She'll never accept my kids or any kids that we have. Um, and so I ended up making a TikTok about her. I didn't name her name or anything. I
Mm-hmm.
just made a TikTok, and she got in my comments and was like, "You know my number. What you making TikToks about me for?" And I was like, "The same reason you writing autobiographies about me and sending them to your friends. The same
Wow.
reason." So I ended up blocking her, and he said that that really was starting to take a toll on him. Now, this is what he's telling me in November.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with you and my mom? That's really starting to take a toll on me. You, my wife, that's my mom. So for New Year's, it might be cliche, but I put my big girl panties on. I sent her a text message inviting her out to eat, saying, "Look, he's about to come home. I don't want to put him in a headspace that'll send him back. Let's see if we could discuss this, whatever the issues are, and squash this, okay?" And he was like, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of you, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I'm gonna see what my mama say when I call her." So to
Okay.
this day, I don't know what his mama said, but I have a strong feeling it played a part in the next thing I'm about to tell y'all.
Okay.
So, mind you, that was for New Year's. So about 4 or 5 days later, I get a call and he said, "Do you think I was ready for marriage?" And I'm like, "Hello, how are you? How are you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And so he was like, "Nah, like I'm serious." And so I said, "No, ever since we said I do, I've been seeing little red flags. Um, I don't know how in detail I should go." He started making money in there. I'm just saying, like, they started making money in
Okay.
there. And he was sending me the money, but then the money, he started sending it to somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And packages started showing up at my house. So I'm like, "Who you gave my address to? How packages
Right.
get here?" So he was like, "Oh, my homeboy holding the money for me because you can't seem to hold on to it." I say, "Anytime I spend the money, I'm telling you what I spend it on, and I'm spending it on like bills, things like that." I say, "So what?" He was like, "But you spending it on bills, and I need clothes and shoes to come home to."
You got a closet full
Wait.
of them.
And last time I
So,
checked, the lights is more important than some Jordan.
but
So
you was good with money management while you've been paying for these attorneys and getting this business going
when it was
and
my
making sure that
money,
he got
when it was
right.
my money,
Right.
so when that, like I say, so that had happened. So I told him, you have little things like that, like you put materialistic things over, bills. And I said the fact that you're not ready to cleave to a wife, you still cleaving to your mama, like what your mama say reigns precedent over anybody. And so
Mm-hmm.
I said it's just a lot of things that I see. Same thing with the baby mama, like, because he had made the comment, "I'm not going to be able to see my son if me and you are together because my baby mama not going to let him come to our house. So you just going to let your baby mama dictate your relationship." So it
Mm.
was just a lot. So I was giving him those reasons why I thought, no, maybe you weren't ready for marriage. So he
Mm-hmm.
said, "Okay, let me call you back." Now, my son ended up having surgery 2 days later. So he called, he literally checked on my son, got off of the phone, and then he sent me an email
Oh.
saying, "Hey, I don't think this is gonna work. I wasn't ready for marriage. It's not that I don't love you or that I use you or anything. I don't want to come home and put my hands on you or cheat on you, or be the man that you don't want me to be. I have a lot I have to think about."
Wait a minute. What does he mean? He don't want to come home and put his hands on you? I mean, did he express that he had those kind of problems before, or this just came about when his mom and his baby mom and whoever got in his ear?
So from what I know, he would like punch holes and stuff in his mom them walls, and he
Mm-hmm.
got physical with the baby mama. But from what I know, it was when she got how it was told to me, she beat on him for 2 years, and so
Mm-hmm.
he finally started hitting the bait, pretty
Okay.
much. And so
Okay.
he said how reckless my mouth is. My mouth would quote unquote get me in trouble.
Okay. So have y'all spoken since the email? Because that was
That was in
a little shady
January.
way out.
So I won't lie. I had my soft girl era where I was like sending him storybooks. Like, "Why are you doing this to me? After I
Mm-hmm.
invested all of this into you, how could you do this?" Just like all of that. Like, and finally I had to check myself. Like, hold on, because he wouldn't respond.
Mm-hmm.
And when he would call, he would literally call and be like, "So what you want to do?" And I'm like, I'm not the one who said all these things. You are. But
Mhm.
he wants me to, initiate the
Mhm.
divorce. He don't want to be the one to be like, okay, he don't want to say the word, I want a divorce. So
Okay.
he ended up saying, how about we just get a divorce, but we stay together, but I move in with my daddy. I live with my daddy because it's the living together for me. I say, wait, hold on. So you wanna work backwards?
Right.
I'm saying you harping on this living together, so it's giving. You just want to be in the street, and
Mhm.
I'm not gonna allow it. Not in my residence. We not allowing it.
Mhm. Look.
So he was like, yeah, that's why I don't think this gonna work. So he was like, are you gonna allow my daddy to get my clothes and shoes? I said, what clothes and shoes?
No, that's right.
What clothes and shoes?
Wow.
Um, not them. So he hung up in my face. He called
Mhm.
back. He said, let me apologize for hanging up in your face, but that's wrong because I bought like 2 or 3 pairs out of like 50. You bought like 2 or 3? Okay, wow.
Wow.
But I need my compensation. So that phone call was our last, we'll say phone call,
Mhm.
and that was in early February, maybe. Yep, early February. And that phone call showed me a lot because it showed me you never had any intentions on working on a marriage.
Yep.
You was just trying to see if I was gonna allow you to get your stuff so you would come home to something and
Yep.
not nothing, and you're not getting nothing out of here.
Yep.
But I skipped over a little part. He was in prison. Of course, he had friends. One of his friends started calling me.
Oh, you ain't fall for the okie doke, did you, Paris?
I didn't. I
Okay. Okay.
didn't. But he started calling me, telling me, yeah, because he ain't never loved you. He was talking to other women while he was talking to you. Um, he was materialistic. He was telling me about all the hoes he was going to be with when he get out of prison and all of that. But of course, I had, a good voice of reason saying, it's a scam. It's a scheme. It's a scam. He's
Yep.
telling you all it is.
Yep.
So number
Yep.
one, push you further away from him, and hopefully you start crying on his shoulder because he
Yep.
saw all the things that you did for him. So now he like, I'm about to go ahead on and get that. And so I ended up nipping that in the bud real quick. I was like, don't call me no more. Don't.
Dang, because yeah, that's really how the game works in there. Once they get off of one, the homeboy goes, he gets what he get because your husband, he's not out yet, right?
No, he don't even have a release date as of yet because he's completing his program.
Okay, so yeah, so that's how the game works. He's off you, so now the next homeboy is on you. So what about this? What about this company, this business that you started for him? Whose business is it now? Is it going to be your business or his business?
To be honest, I don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
Only because it's not my it's something I didn't create. I literally just put the funding behind it and did the footwork. I got the t-shirts made, I got the business cards made, I had started a business page. I had started his website. I've since deleted all of that because I was paying monthly subscriptions to those
Okay.
type things, and so I've deleted all of that. I literally have 3 containers in my walk-in closet. Excuse me, 3 containers full of like shirts because we did all the way from babies to like 2 or 3 X.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just, to be honest, I want it gone. I understand like it's money down the drain, but I'm like, it's just a L that I have to take. Like I saw somebody in the comments say, I've actually already started selling his shoes. I sold
Mm-hmm.
about 4 or 5 pair. I'm gonna sell the rest of them shoes. I'm gonna sell the rest of those clothes. And I'm gonna try to compensate, give something back. And I'm not paying. This may sound wrong, but I'm not paying for no divorce. I did tell him that whenever you get out and you
Mm-hmm.
get the $150, because that's all it costs, go ahead on and have me served. I'm gonna sign them. I'm not gonna run. I'm gonna sign
Mm-hmm.
them, but I'm not. I've done enough as far as this relationship and marriage, and I'm not doing no more.
Listen, the everybody that's in the comments, they trying to help you get rid of this stuff. Pink said,
Okay,
Paris,
we
I
gonna
need some
go.
t-shirts. What was the other one? Brianna said, comment y'all sizes so we can offload these
Yes,
clothes and shoes.
please. Give me clothes. He wear a min 9 and a min large. So I have Jordans, Air Max, Dunks, all that. And I want it gone because I have a feeling he gonna come knock knock
Mm-hmm.
when he get out, and yeah, he not getting it. So sorry. And
Jiffy said, pay for the divorce while you know his address.
well, his mama address don't change.
Oh,
Hers don't
okay.
change. So look, and trust me, she will gladly
Make sure she get the
accept
money up for
those
that divorce,
papers.
right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, you did everything that, that a wife should have.
Right.
I'm mad at you, low key. But
I'm mad at
lesson learned.
myself. I'm really mad at myself, but that's how I look at it. I really look at it as a lesson learned, and if I could go back, I would wait. I wouldn't even got in a relationship. I
Mm-hmm.
just would have continued being his friend, getting to know him, talking, and then when he would have came home, seeing exactly what he was about, because now I've invested time, I've invested money, I've invested energy. I was bringing my kids to the penitentiary, and you wasn't even man enough to tell my kid
Mm-hmm.
you was walking out on them.
Wow. Wow. Because he ain't never really walked in. He really tried to play you to the left. So do you
Yep,
think that, because I can't find the comment, I was trying to put it up. I was trying to put it up there. I can't, it won't let me go back that far. But do you think that the self-esteem play any part in the relationship that you had with him?
it did, and that's why I was sure to say that I was especially in a vulnerable state, and so I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really love myself. And I did kind of feel like, okay, maybe this is what I need.
Mm-hmm.
When I have a tendency to settle, I hate to use the term like for what's beneath me because that sounds bad, but I really don't set any boundaries out the gate. I was telling one of my best friends today how I was with a man for 2 years and he took me on one date. And you know why he only took me on one date?
That's all
Because
you required.
exactly. I never was like, when we going out or and he did the bare minimum and I
Mm-hmm.
accepted the bare minimum. And I feel like in this situation, I allowed it because nobody put a gun to my head and made me do those things. I
Mm-hmm.
allowed it to get further than what it was. And when I did start seeing the red flags, I still didn't like just put a pin in it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I lost my brother during our relationship. My brother passed on
Mm.
Thanksgiving 2021. And anytime I would cry about my brother, he would say, "You just need to suck that shit up. Your brother not coming back."
Wow. Well, I'm gonna need for y'all to put some hand claps in the comment section because Paris was the first one who was honest and said that it had something to do with self-esteem. Because they like to get up here and try to pull a fast one. And I'd be like, listen, I've seen this too many times. Yeah.
I was at my lowest of low as far as my self esteem, my self worth, all of that. And I mean, even now, I'm not 100%. I'm building myself back up. I have to
Hmm.
tell myself positive affirmations every day. And I
Right.
really have to look at it like, Mom, you have your own house, your own
Hmm.
car, your own job. Your baby daddies don't do nothing but your kids well taken care of. Like,
Hmm.
you the prize in this whole situation. You the prize.
You better know that.
He a three-time convicted felon, no house, no car, not a competition and window to throw it out of. And you sitting up in here sending paragraphs for him, girl, the paragraphs need to be coming for you. So,
Right.
I tell myself these things
Yep.
because it's the truth.
Hmm. Well, I think that, when people say, don't act like you're better than, realistically, there are certain things and situations that we are better than. You don't have to settle for that because first of all, you're not even an ugly girl. Like she got these fly ass glasses, her hair be laid, you know what I'm saying? You could dress, you got a career, you got your own stuff. Like you ain't gotta settle for him. That was literally settling, you know what I'm saying, for him. So we're not
Exactly.
doing that no more. We're not doing that no more at
Not in
all.
2023. Oh no. Oh no. And
Mm-mm, no.
that's why I'm just like, this whole thing was crazy to me because when my brother was incarcerated, he tried to get me to talk to inmates, and I'm like, but I'm not talking to no inmate. What I look like talking to an inmate?
Uh-huh.
And that's how I know that I was weak, I was vulnerable, I was because everything that I said I wouldn't do or wouldn't go for, I did.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be said, I'm the best man you ever had. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
what people saying on that social media about inmates, that's they inmate. You got a good inmate. You gonna see.
And you saw
What I'm saying.
you saw you saw those red flags was warning signs. Those was warning
They
signs.
was flagging. They definitely was flagging. No,
Flagging
real.
like they never flagged before. But you know better now. So would there ever be another chance in hell that you would date
No,
another
ma'am, they
person
don't
that's
even need to look,
incarcerated?
don't need to breathe my way. Don't need to none of that. And I'm like, I wish I could apologize for all them guards who used to be like, girl, you too pretty to be coming up here. And I'm like, leave me alone. I'm coming to see my man. Now I wish I could be like, y'all was right.
Sarah said her man, her man, her man.
I was the main one in them comments, not my man, not my man. I'm like, I'm in the other girls' comments like, y'all better stop. Y'all better stop what y'all
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I am
Yes.
over him. I am over him. Oh my god, completely. That is insane. So, do you have any contact with any of his family members now? Not even the sister that liked you, because you was her boo, whether you know it or not. You was her boo. That's why she really was mad.
No, because like I told you, we haven't talked since my birthday because she had told a lie and I didn't know it was a lie, so I went back
Hmm.
and told him. And when I told him, he confronted her about it, and she was like, "Why did you tell my brother? I didn't tell you that to tell my brother." And I'm like, "Well, you shouldn't have lied." And then, I mean, he wouldn't have checked you. But since then, we have not had any type of communication. And that was my birthday, so that was March of 2021. So we
Hmm.
haven't had any type of contact. His mom, her read receipts on. She read my message for New Year's, never responded. So she's now back blocked. So his sister blocked, his mama blocked. Um, I had his baby mama number at one point, but we never spoke, so I couldn't say if that was still her number. His
Hmm.
dad and his dad's fiance, I still communicate with them here or there a little bit. And he made two attempts to call me on Valentine's Day and one to call me on my birthday, but he's blocked, so it had merged to that little block folder.
Yeah, leave it blocked. He don't need to have no contact.
And that
No.
wasn't contact to even try to. It was almost like, let me just try to stay in her good graces. Hopefully, she gonna give me something when I come home. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm
Nope. He gets nothing. He gets no place to stay, not another penny, not another Jordan, not a nothing. Not a nothing at all.
for you. I'm not sure if I pronounced your name right. We
That's
did
right.
not go together. Maybe in her head. And I asked him because she's very tomboy, so I asked him. He said, "You know, my mom used to think that she was gay. Mom used to always ask her, 'Do you like girls? Do you like girls?'"
Mhm.
And finally one day she was like, "I don't like girls."
She like him. I'm just telling you, she likes them. I know.
But that's really what it was. I'm telling, and I have a friend who's bi, and so she was like, she give me vibes that she's interested
But you know
in me.
what? You would have been better off with the sister than with the brother.
No, oh no, 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 no. You
At
didn't
least
see the control issues she had.
so they're running the family. They're running the family. I'm telling you right
Well,
now, from
there
the
are
mom to the
many.
sister.
There are many. Their mom is a narcissist. I'm gonna just call it what it is. She's a
Hmm.
narcissist. So they're little mini narcissists growing up under her. And so she used to always say, "I don't want to be like my mom. I want to be better than my mom."
Hmm.
But I'm like, sometimes we end up falling into what we were taught and what we saw and how we were raised. Yeah, it's up to us to break it, but a lot of times it's hard to break when that's all you knew. So yeah, she
Yeah.
got control because it's like when he come home, he gonna drive trucks. And I say, well, he
Oh.
wanna go to barber school. No, I say he gonna drive trucks. Like that's the dynamic.
Oh my
So
God.
guess what? Like a couple of months before he made parole, I'm looking at probably get my CDL. I said, I thought you didn't want to do that, but now your
Right.
mama done drilled that into your head so much. Now that's what you want to do.
Well,
No,
listen,
he
you
didn't
dodged
have his
that.
baby mama, Tammy. I can honestly say that she's done a little bit too much from sleeping with his friends to this just a life. So yeah, he not doing it.
Ooh.
Look, he not doing it. He actually made that clear to me. He was like,
Oh
he'll
wow.
do his full 10 years before he get with her. And I ain't gonna lie, I
Wow.
believe that. I do, cause they just too pinkers. So he's 28. But when he
Okay.
got locked up, he was 21.
Okay. Okay.
So, he was still a baby.
Let me see. Harvey. Oh yeah, the sister had bigger issues. Definitely,
Yeah, yeah,
definitely.
most definitely.
Victoria
Yep.
said, "I hope you got
I
cameras
have
around your
cameras.
home."
I have cameras in every room. I also have a doorbell camera. So he can come around here if he wants. That wouldn't be good for him. Again, he is
Okay.
some kind of convicted felon. I'm not, and I do carry. So wouldn't be good for him. It
Well,
wouldn't
he
be
coming back for his family, Paris. He want his family back. He changed his mind. He ain't gonna listen to his
You
mother no
gonna
more.
change your mind over here? You'll never get a chance to make a fool out of me, Toy. I've been backtracking. Now that's something I can say. I've been stopped backtracking because that's
Mm-hmm.
one thing that I learned the hard way. I would
Mm-hmm.
always give everybody a second chance, and they would screw the second chance up. And I'm like, Paris, why? Why are you giving them a second? So as far as he goes, just because of everything I invested and the time and the money, nah, you will never get a second chance to make a fool out of me. And that's
It's
what I
for nothing
told.
else.
I say it's a different world in 2016. I say women are different and
Mm-hmm.
females are different. I was a rare gem.
Mm-hmm.
These females out here today ain't gonna even look your way. You think because you light skin with some good hair, because you mix your daddy white, mama black, that
Mm.
these girls gonna be flocking to you. But guess what? If you don't have nothing to offer them, no, they're not.
Wow. Well, unfortunately, that's how shallow some of them are. They assume that that's what's gonna get everybody, but nah, we're not taking them back. We're not having it. If we find out that you taking back, me and everybody in this comment section, we coming. We coming for you because we're not having it. We not having it.
I'm not going back, y'all. I promise. I'm not. I'm
We're
not.
not doing no more. A piece of a man is better than no man at all. We're not doing it. Absolutely not. We're not doing it. But do you have any advice for anybody who's thinking about or maybe in the situation that you're in?
I would say just continue to talk to them and get to know them until they're home. Wait until they're home to see if their words match everything that they say, behind
Hmm.
the walls. Because people used to tell me that, and I used to be like, oh no, his word is his vine. Like what he's telling me is true. But this man actually put on his son's life that we
Hmm.
would be together forever. And as you can see, I'm not saying his son's life don't mean anything to him,
Right.
but it just goes to show you that was word. It was word, you know.
Yeah.
So wait till that man come home. If he loves you that much and want to be with you that much, he's going to show you that same energy. He's gonna have that energy when he come home. And most
Hmm.
importantly, like don't be investing. If you can't invest money in yourself, don't invest it in no inmate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I'm redoing my bedroom right now because my bedroom was done for him to come home to with his favorite colors. And
Mm.
that's another thing I was telling my best friend. Like I lost myself,
Yeah.
in him. And so now I'm redoing my entire room with my favorite colors as it should have been in the first place because I
Yep.
made it drink, you know.
Exactly.
So just don't lose yourself. Stay focused on you. Let that man date you when he come home and see if that energy match those words he was giving you in the penitentiary.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me on live and giving us this tea, honey. You kept us entertained. You kept us entertained. And then if you decide to backtrack, Lord, if you
I'm
decide to
not,
backtrack,
y'all. I'm not.
okay,
I'm
we'd
not.
have to do a part two. But when Pink and I do the round table for like relationships and stuff like that, you gotta come on that panel
Yes,
because uh
please,
uh
please.
we,
I'm ready. Look,
we
I'm like
you
I'm
gotta come on
speaking
that
on
panel
all
with us.
platforms. I'm not hiding this. I want these ladies to know. Don't do this. Don't make a mistake. Don't do
Okay.
it.
Yes, yes, definitely coming. But thank you so much for coming on my live tonight. I appreciate it. Enjoyed the tea.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
You're welcome. Bye bye.